Hello, Eckhart again. This time with a few more words about the progress of this head. It's a few weeks in now, and in the previous recording, I was talking about the inner steel structure and filling it out with soft material. I have now added clay, and this has gone through various stages of modeling. So when you model, I like to add sort of smaller volumes and pack it up, and I like to keep it rough. I like to keep it rough as long as possible. It's when you work in sculpture, it can be a problem if you go into the details too early, because you start falling in love with that detail. For example, you kind of get the nose you think it's right, and that might hinder the all over progress of the work. So a good method is when you model something or when you carve something, keep it rough. Don't go into the details too early, because then you're always more acceptable to cut the entire nose off, because you realize it needs to be in a completely different position. Yeah. So you need to figure out. There are many ways to model. What I like is I add smaller parts. Let's say here. If you I kind of like to work with tools when I model like this. I like to add, and then also something I'm obviously more like a subtractive guy. I like to take away as well, and I will keep this fairly rough. I have this is actually more a tool for plaster. So this will probably go through a few more incarnations until it's ready to go to the next stage, which is the plaster cast. So I'm basically just kind of going through the details. Obviously, you can use various tools. What is sometimes quite good, taking measurements, particularly something like a head or whatever, where there's a certain amount of symmetry, so you can actually measure, that for example, your eyes are the same length. Are they actually? I have not so far done that. Almost. So you can check all these sort of things. So this is a very useful tool. These sort of circles or compasses. I like these sort of spatulas to add. Now, as I said, this has already changed quite a bit. And the nice thing is you need to keep an element of flexibility within. I think here, so I hammered this in quite a bit. And that's the nice thing, if you keep your inners reasonably flexible, you can actually push things back. If armature comes out and it's completely in the way, just wrap it up with clay. That comes, the reason why comes later. I will explain that. So I probably have armature sticking out, so I will just cover that up. We'll cast it in plaster and then cut it off in the plaster later on. The plan now is to finish the modeling, make a plaster negative and a plaster positive, and then I work it over in plaster. And then I have to think what I'm going to do next. Initially I thought I'm going to make just a plaster model, plaster cast negative, and fill it up in concrete. I might actually use this to show also how to make a silicon mold, a bigger silicon mold, because then I can actually make a positive in ceramics or a positive in cement, and I can make more a bigger edition rather than just one. But I have to think about it, how I feel about it. So the options are open. So that much to the modeling. Keep it flexible, keep it rough. Yeah, for example, here I have a sort of a piece of steel from the inner section coming out, and these things I will just kind of cover up at the end, quite visibly cover it up, and then when it's in the positive coming out in the plaster, you can literally just kind of cut it off in the positive in plaster. So, but we could come to that later on. Okay, that's all for now.